In this video, we're talking about 15 standards of gym etiquette. Our whole purpose with this is to share some guidance with you that will make your experience in the gym more enjoyable and more comfortable. Because we get it. When you're in a gym, you have entered a unique environment. Each gym has its own vibe and energy, and even though lots of people are actually really friendly, it can still seem very intimidating, especially if you're new, and certainly when people have their focus face on. And you'll see on page 125 of your playbook, we've summarized this for you, but in this video version, we'll be able to show you some examples of what we mean to make sure these standards really land. All right, so first and foremost, going to the gym is you time. When we covered the essential called excellence back on page 94, you defined your own standard of excellence, and it matters to show up with that standard when you enter the gym. So bring your best energy and expect that everyone else is doing the same to the best of their ability. The sooner you can see the champion in others, the sooner you will see the champion in yourself. Standard number 2, you can smile, nod, or wave to acknowledge others. But just know that there's no common practice for communicating with people in the gym. They may have focus days when they ignore you completely, more social days when they will acknowledge you, and busy days when they will cut the conversation short. Don't take any of it personally because this is their time for themselves just as much as it is your time. But never underestimate how much it can mean to someone that you simply acknowledge them with a nod or a fist bump. So even if you don't get a response, remember that you're doing it for you without expectations. Standard number 3, consider how the space can be used by others. Always ask yourself, if I set up here, am I blocking the intended use for this space? Some gyms are really cramped, so this can be challenging. But as much as possible, choose a spot for your set that is out of the way of the common area. For example, not blocking other people's access to the equipment. Like if your gym has turf, it's good to realize that this is a very multifunctional space. These lanes can be used to push a sled with weights, or also as a long stretch where you can do dynamics. So although you could theoretically be anywhere, you want to avoid laying down a yoga mat or just standing in an area that is designated for certain uses. This not only keeps you out of the way, but it also ensures that you won't be bothered during your set. Standard number 4, adapt as needed because it's your number one greatest asset when training. This means that your machine might be in use and people might be in your way. Rather than getting frustrated and blaming others for using the equipment, which is going to lower your own energy and bring you down, you want to look for another way to achieve the same thing. So for example, normally we stretch on these mats, but sometimes it gets super busy and this whole area can be totally full. So in that case, we'll move over to here to stretch. And if this spot is being used, we can go into a yoga room. And if there's a class happening in there, we can stretch over here behind the cardio machines. And last resort, even though it's never come to that, we would just get in anywhere that we can fit in. The point I want to make is you're never stuck and you can set yourself up for success so you're less likely to be bothered by someone else. Standard number 5, always ask to use a piece of equipment if it's near someone. As you can see here, there's some weight plates on the floor next to me. Let's imagine that you want to use some of these weight plates. Instead of just grabbing them, understand that I might need them for my next set. And you can say things like this. Are you using this? Can I take this? Is anyone using this? It's very simple and it keeps respectful interactions happening. And that brings me to standard number 6, which is never interrupt someone in the middle of their set, even if you need to ask them something so you can continue your workout. Wait to ask them until they have a rest break. You can tell someone it is the middle of their set when they have the weights in their hands and their focus face is on. And if it's too tough for you to be able to read the situation, just err on the side of caution. Don't interrupt them. Just wait until they notice you or go back to standard number 4 and adapt. Number 7, it's okay to ask someone to spot you if you're testing your limits and developing your awareness of your strength and control. And we've got a special video that reviews how to spot someone safely. So make sure to check that out.
Don't be shy about needing to ask more than one person for a spot. The first time I asked someone to spot me while I squatted, the guy said he didn't know how to spot and he didn't feel comfortable with it. And because I couldn't find anybody to spot me, I just adapted and I waited to test the limits of my strength for another day when I could find someone who felt comfortable spotting me.
Number 8, don't rush to finish your sets. Just because someone else might need your machine, take your full rest breaks, they can adapt. Number 9, it's okay to use the same machines to do multiple exercises, but avoid using multiple machines at the same time. So like you see here, for example, I repurposed the power rack where I just finished squats, and now I'm doing Bulgarian split squats So I'm continuing to use the same platform and I'm keeping all of my activities confined to that one space. I'm not spread out all over the place. Number 10, wipe down equipment with sanitizer after using it. And most gyms have that ready to go for you. You can also bring a hand towel to be able to lay on the equipment if you're more comfortable with that. Number 11, put away all equipment when you're done with it. Specifically, rack your weights, dumbbells, barbells, and plates, and return your mats, pads, balls, etc. to their designated spot. Number 12, be mindful to exclude other people from any photos or videos that you take. Number 13, right of way goes to the person holding the weights or doing the exercise. So this means you want to be aware of people carrying weights or doing exercises, and you want to either stop and let them pass or move around them. Number 14, when someone is using the mirror as a self spot, avoid blocking or interrupting their line of sight as best as possible, obviously within reason, because I get it. When it's busy, it's busy. And if you have the option to take a route that doesn't block their line of sight in the mirror, that's very considerate, because the mirror is a great way for everyone to check that their form is accurate. Number 15, when crossing lanes on the turf, look around and be mindful of the space others may need to complete their moves. They might be pushing the sled or jumping around or moving in a quick way, and it's best to give them the right of way, just like we shared in Standard 13. So there you have it. There are the keys to enjoying a better experience in the gym.